Good morning, everyone. You are listening to Table for Two with Naomi Nachman on the Nachum Segal Network. For those of you who don't know me and tuning in for the first time, I'm Naomi Nachman. I'm about all the food all the time. I love food. I love shopping for it, cooking food, eating food, anything food related. My favorite is eating out at restaurants. I'm a kosher personal chef. My business is called the Aussie Gourmet. I run kosher chop competitions. I have my cookbook. Anytime you have a recipe that you made, I want to hear about it too. I love hearing from everyone. Thank you so much for following along our Nachum Segal Network adventures right here in the studio on the Lower East Side. We have our YouTube channel, so we hope that you watch and listen to our shows as well. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I hope that you'll enjoy listening to our great guests each week. So we have some little bit of catch up to do from the last week. I just want to, I think, ZK, it's time to announce. Remember 2 weeks ago we had Billy Schwecki in from Candy and Cattle. How good was that beef jerky, right? Yeah, it was good, ZK. He's giving me the thumbs up. He doesn't have his mic on now. So we're going to announce winners. Do we have the drum roll?
We'll give you an applause.
Okay, he doesn't have the drum roll set up. We got to put that back into the system. But we're going to have a drum roll. We have 3 winners. So 2 weeks ago, we asked you to either email us or at naomi@nachumsegal.com or follow us, Nachum Segal Network, or me, or Candy and Cattle on Insta. And you had a chance to win a selection of the amazing beef jerky. But we are doing 3 winners today. This is 3 people are going to win this prize, these prizes. So without further ado, we are going to pick. We have picked already. All right. Sarah Rivka Rothman, Regina Simon, and Naftali Levin. Round of applause. Round of applause. Okay, so we're going to get that out to you. Thank you so much for listening and being part of our Table for Two family. So, moving right along, I just want to give a shout out to where I've eaten in the last week, which has been at many places. I went to Skewers in Cedarhurst, great Israeli restaurant, and they make their own laffa bread. They have a tabun there. Oh my gosh. So go check that out. That was really good. I really like their bread there. And I was also recently, again for the second time, at Allenby. I love that place. And they're open for lunch. I went with my husband December 25th. He had off from work and I had off from, well, I don't know. I made time for him. We had date day in Crown Heights. So it's so good there. And then we went and we got Urban Pops for dessert for afterwards, to eat on the car ride home. So yeah, they have a location in Crown Heights now too. We got to get Urban Pops in here. Sophia Cohen, I'm calling you. Okay, so we'll have Sophia on the show. So we have an amazing lineup today. I'm just going to give a mention of what they are. We have Gil Chavav on the line from Israel. Lucky him. I hope it's warmer where he is than where we are. And we have on also going to be on the line joining us is Miriam Schreiber from Chicago. I think it's colder there than it is here. And right here in the studio, we're going to have a donut party. I have Des from Broadway Doco. Did I say Broad Street?
Doco.
Broad Street Doco Donut Company, short for that. We met a couple of weeks ago when me and 6 foodie friends converged on her store, and I don't think they know what hit them because 6 people walk in covering their faces with iPhones. So, yeah, that was a foodie trip for us. So I'd like to, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Gil Chavav. Gil was, he's a leading culinary journalist and television personality. He comes from one of the most respected families in Israel. He is the great-grandson of Eliezer Ben Yehuda, who, as we all know, revived the modern Hebrew language. I learned about him in school in Sydney, Australia, so it's quite an honour to have met him a couple of weeks ago. He has an illustrious career in journalism, TV, and he's a cookbook author, and he's played a major role in changing Israeli cuisine from basic traditional to gourmet dining. He's been a restaurant critic. He's had television shows. He's got 3 books. And right now he has just put out a book called Candies from Heaven, which I'm holding in my hand. So if you're watching it from the YouTube channel, we met a couple weeks ago at the Jewish Food Media Conference in Crown Heights at Melinda Strauss's conference. And we have a mutual friend, Adina Sussman. Welcome, Gil Chavav.
Shalom, where's my drum roll?
Where's your drum roll? Yeah, you know what? CK's going to have to put the drum roll back in, but we do the applause. So at the end of the interview, if you want, I can give you an applause.
Okay. And an imaginary red carpet as well.
Imaginary. Please. For you, we roll out the red carpet. You have good yichus here. and you in your own right are amazing. Like, people probably talk about your great-grandfather, but you in your own right, like, you are something very special. It was great meeting you a couple of weeks ago.
It was my pleasure and honor, of course.
Okay, Gil, there are like a million questions. Your book is hilarious.
Thanks.
Did you have a good time writing it?
Well, to tell you the truth, usually it's a funny book. Of course, it's a memoir about growing up in Jerusalem of the 60s and 70s, but usually when I write, and I write very easily, I do it when I'm depressed.
Really?
So
I'm so sad to hear that.
There are two things that I do when I'm depressed that I keep for depression times, because these are the things I love to do most, and it's ironing and writing.
Ironing and what?
Is that I'm not and writing.
Oh, ironing.
But the problem is that I'm not depressed enough. So usually shirts are wrinkled.
Okay, I'm
and
glad.
I wrote only 3 memoirs.
Okay, but that's good. Not that many people can even write one, and you've done 3. So no, it's great. Tell us a little synopsis about what it was like growing up in the 60s and 70s that will intrigue people to go grab your book.
So Jerusalem is a great city, and it still is a great city, but it has changed a lot. When I was growing up in Jerusalem, I was born in 1962, so it was before the Six-Day War. Jerusalem was a split city, a divided city. There was a border smack in the middle of town, and the city was sort of remote from everything. Think of, Berlin. It was the same before the unification. And it was very special. The community was very tight. And I grew up in a very, very, very strange family because, as you have mentioned, the great-grandson of Eliezer ben Yehuda, blah, blah, blah. All of my family members were sure that they were aristocracy. But there is no aristocracy in Israel. Come on.
Everybody thinks they're the king.
The gap between their aspirations and reality was very funny, and I think that my 5-year-old's eyes, crossed eyes, I may add, saw it. And I think this is the base of the humor in the book.
Wow. Okay. So were you talking about your grandfather? Did you actually meet your great-grandfather? Or he had passed away before?
No, he passed away in 1922.
Oh,
so
wow.
He passed away the year that my mother was born. His granddaughter was born. So,
okay.
No, I never knew him. I never knew my grandfather. But, on the other hand, I knew my grandmother. When we were growing up, it wasn't that she was living with us. As it was put to us, we were living with her. So
right, I remember you telling us that. So you did have a very strong connection with your lineage. Your grandparents, from one side or the other side, which I think is amazing that you get to live together.
It's fun. Yes, yes. Actually, nowadays it's done in Israel also with Arab families and with Russian families. That way they tend to live in clans, and actually, I think it's the best way to grow up.
No, it's
because grandparents have time for you, and they have wisdom, and and they are invested in education. And sometimes where your parents are career people, like my parents were, really the grandmother or our 2 maids that were always with us had really a great role in my upbringing, and I'm thankful for that.
You definitely learn a lot from living with a group of people. I was very close with my grandmother. We lived in the same neighborhood, not on the same block. But, I live very far from my parents. I'm like 20,000 miles. And I feel sad for my children that I don't have that. Even though they're super close. And now you have WhatsApp and Facebook. And my parents are pretty tech savvy. So, it's good. But to be with them, and whenever I'm with my mother, and I see that you have this in your book, like cooking with a family is important.
Indeed, and usually, people ask me, how did you get to cooking? And I tell the story about
my
growing
next
up with
question.
my grandmother.
Yeah, it's my next question. Yeah, keep going.
Since I was the weakest and the smallest and the frailest grandchild, she always, protected me from my brother and my cousins, but she never let me into the kitchen because with Sephardi families, men in the kitchen bring only two things, dirt and bad luck. So I never got even one single recipe from her. The day she died, she passed away when I was a soldier, a 20-year-old soldier, I started cooking.
Right, and these some of the recipes that were in the book, which is great.
Yes, the book is short stories, short funny stories, and every story ends with the very, very simple recipe that we used to have when the story occurred. So, but the recipes are almost primitive. I mean, this is really everyday cooking in a middle class Israeli family. So it wouldn't be something very festive. It's really basic food. But this is the food I love most, I must say. For 30 years, I've been wandering the world in the best 3 Michelin star restaurants. And the food I love most is stews of elderly women, preferably with red sauce, preferably served by a woman over 80. Then I feel at home.
Oh, that's fantastic. Were you a foodie as a kid?
Sort of. When I was growing up again in the 60s and 70s, Israel was very different. It was a socialist country, so it was almost impolite to be interested in food. But since both my parents were very high up in the IDA, in the Israeli Broadcasting Authority, we used to dine out a lot, which was very rare. Because, first of all, there were very few restaurants in Jerusalem, but it was very rare to dine out. You weren't supposed to be interested in food. So for the time, I was considered a foodie, but, when I look back at the food we were having in restaurants, I'm sometimes embarrassed. It was very naive.
It's unbelievable what you have seen in the growth of Israel. I know I've been to Israel myself since I'm 14, and I've been probably 10 times, and now I'm in my 40s, and I've seen the change. Look, Rehov Yafo looks exactly the same, except it has a train running through it now, that tram thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so much looks the same, but it's so different. There are restaurants on every corner. Like from when I studied my year in Israel after high school, when I was in Midrashah, like there was restaurants. The shuk was disgusting. It was dirty flies, blood on the streets from like leaking butcher shops, and now it's like the hub
heads of dead chicken floating in puddles.
It was disgusting. And now it's like the epicenter of Yerushalayim outside the old city. Like I go there literally every day when I'm in Yerushalayim.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun and it's cool. And, Israel is changing so fast. If you haven't been to Israel in 5 years, it's as if you're coming for the first time.
Yeah.
It's really changing. And talking about the culinary scene, come on, it's booming.
It's crazy.
I'm very lucky to be a restaurant critic in Israel because I'm flooded with work.
Okay, I want to go with you around Israel and eat. That's my dream.
Come over.
I know, it's the first time. I was there the last couple of years for winter break. My kids were studying there, so I went. But this year, I don't have plans immediately, but I'm always working on something. But, it's amazing that Israel has changed. It went from being, you think Israeli food, and if you had to pick something in your head, it would be a falafel with hummus on top, right? So how did Israel go from being like a falafel pita in a pita to being the most copied cuisine around the world? We have, right?
Yes, Israeli food does have a moment. It is having a moment right now.
It's having its moment. It's having a long moment. It's more than just 15 minutes of fame. Shakshuka is showing up on every blog, website, cookbook across the world. Right? It's amazing.
So I must tell you my shakshuka story.
Oh, I must hear it.
Because it has to do with New York. And it's a huge embarrassment. So I was filming my series around the world, and we got to New York right after 9/11. And being Israelis, we called the Israeli consulate, and we said, we're an Israeli television crew. Maybe you can help us with a car, with accommodation, with whatever. And being Israelis, they said, well, we won't help you. You will help us. turned out that after 9/11, Ground Zero was evacuated.
Yeah, I lived.
No businesses stayed there.
I lived right there.
I see. So chefs from all over the world came over to the one restaurant that kept operating in Ground Zero called Nino's, an Italian restaurant. The restaurant was like a dining hall for the crews of policemen and firefighters, etc. And chefs from all over the world came to cook there, to volunteer, and nobody came from Israel. So the guy from the consulate said, well, you're sort of half a chef. Why don't you cook something? I said, okay. They forgot to tell me that they invited 600 firefighters for breakfast. So there I was making shakshuka for 600 firefighters with nothing. The kitchen was worse than an army kitchen in Israel, believe you me. But anyway, we managed to make shakshuka for 600 people. By the end of breakfast, the firefighters looked at the shakshuka, and what do they tell me? How interesting. In Israel, you have Mexican food for breakfast. They thought I was making huevos rancheros.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, there goes my shakshuka, huh?
Huevos rancheros. Oh, gewalt. It's a good crossover, I guess. It's funny. I went to Alaska to cater a Chabad Chanukah Chagiga. I know that's almost a mouthful. And I made shakshuka for people, the Jewish community of Alaska. Because shakshuka is the best.
How wonderful.
It was the best. They didn't know what it was, but they did think it was Juveros. I can't even say it because I so don't speak Spanish. But yeah, it's cool. But it's showing up everywhere. You know, it's showing up in cookbooks and hummus. They call it hummus, the official dip of the NFL. Like everywhere is Israeli cuisine. We have Michael Solomonov and Alon Shire winning James Beard Awards. Lior Lev I never know how to say his last name.
Yes,
from La Boite.
Yes,
I did a spice class by him. America's top chefs are Israelis, and it's amazing. Like Israeli cuisine, right? Allenby, you know, in I don't know if you were in New York yet.
I've never been there. I've heard that you went twice. I'm so envious. You know, I only read about Allenby. They get wonderful coverage in Israel, but I've never been there. Is it that good?
It is amazing, but you have to love hummus and tahina. There's a lot of infusion of hummus and tahina.
Who doesn't? How can one not love hummus and tahina?
I don't get it. I don't understand what that means if you don't love it. I like to drown myself in it. But
yes.
But it's so popular. And what changed that? What made it explode?
I think, first of all, it's the right kitchen for the moment because it's very vegetarian friendly and vegan friendly and very produce oriented because the weather in Israel allows it and the very advanced agriculture in Israel supports it. And also, it's good for Instagram because the colors are yellow and red and this is what the camera likes. So it's very good.
That's so true. That's hilarious.
Yeah, nobody cooks brown anymore, you know. Chocolate cakes are so 2010. and also I think that it's, you know, it's just in your face and obnoxious like we Israelis are. And somehow it captures one's heart and tongue because it's so immediate and it bursts and it's happy and it's loud and it's ruthless and it obeys no rules, just like Israel.
I'm loving this. This is great. When are you coming to New York next?
Very soon. First of all, I'm going to be to give a lecture in APAC in the beginning of March.
Oh, man.
And then, and right after APAC, I think I'm coming to New York. Would you take me to Allenby when I come to New York?
Let's go to Allenby. Done. We met down the road at the
all
conference.
of your followers heard that. So
okay.
We have a commitment here.
I'm bringing all the foodie friends. We're going to go to Allenby. Okay, with Gil Chavav. Wow. I'm going to let them know.
Cool.
We'll bring
Countdown has begun.
Okay, I'm excited. Your book is fabulous, Candies from Heaven. And I believe where else is it available for people across the globe?
It's on Amazon and it's an ebook as well. So you don't have to get the hard copy. You can get it on your computer.
Okay, great. And I love the fact that it's got recipes in it. It's got your memoirs. It's all about a trip down memory lane of Jerusalem in the 1960s and 70s. And as you can tell from how eloquent that Gil is, his book is just as, his words are eloquent as, his written word is just as eloquent as his spoken word. And English is not his first language. I can hardly write English, and I grew up in Australia. So you're amazing.
Thank you very, very, very much. That's very kind of you.
Okay, so we're going to look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, and maybe we'll get some cooking on. We'll cook together.
Yes, and tell the guys from Allenby to prepare lots of hummus and trina.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, let's go. All right, thank you so much, Gil. Oh, one more question.
Take care.
Wait, one more question.
Yes.
Very important. We are in New York right now, and the weather is about minus 10 degrees Celsius. Quickly warm us up.
Lucky.
What's the weather like right now? Just give us some sunshine.
Well, we're preparing for our first storm in Israel. They say that on Friday it's going to be flooded in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. But if you talk temperatures, it's So today I was with my T-shirt on the street. So
okay, so we're recording
this. Our weather is 10 months of heat wave and 2 months of drought. This is all we get.
Oh, that's crazy. So he's in Israel right now. We're recording this on Wednesday morning. It's going to air Friday morning, and hopefully the weather in Israel will be not drowning and we won't be covered in snow, but it's got to be warmer than it is right now outside. I'm always looking for someone who's somewhere warm. Okay, thank you so much, Gil.
Thank you, and see you soon.
All
Bye-bye.
right, definitely. Take care. Oh, wow. He is so cool, right? How are you, Des? Yeah, good. I'm excited. Yeah, you can talk into the microphone.
I'm great. I can't wait to get this book and read it.
Wasn't he so eloquent?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I love his stories are fabulous. Okay, so right now on the line we have Miriam Schreiber, who's probably hiding under a million blankets because it is freezing where she is. Miriam Schreiber has a long bio because she's one of the most accomplished women I know. If you think I have energy, Miriam is like me 10 times over. She's unbelievable. A little bit of a bio. She's it's not going to do her justice what I'm going to mention. We'll talk a little bit more to her. She's been a magazine editor. She runs tours through Eastern Europe. She has her Miriam Schreiber's Legacy Tours. She does stuff with Torah Masora tours as well. She has gone all over the world. This past summer, she took me and Danielle Renov, who I adore, Peas, Love and Carrots, as part of her tour, and we were a part of her culinary team. We gave demos and entertained the crowds whenever we could, even when we weren't behind the kitchen. And Miriam is just one of these people with a vision, and she gets it done. And she's really, really unbelievable. A year ago, she was not in my life. She called me a week after Purim and said, "Hey, I'm Miriam Schreiber. Do you want to possibly come on a tour to Asia?" And we have been joined at the hip ever since, talking on the phone probably every week. And I'm proud to call her my friends. And hopefully I'm going to make it to Chicago tomorrow. You're listening to this on Friday, so hopefully I actually made it there. But I have a flight out Thursday morning to do a food crawl with Miriam. She's going to take me around to the hot spots of Chicago for kosher.com. So without further ado, my friend Miriam Schreiber, welcome.
Hi, Naomi.
How are you?
Cold.
I know, right?
I have my heater, though, next to my feet, so I'm good. I'm ready for you.
It's crazy. You know, I tried changing my flight so I could come earlier, so I shouldn't miss out on my food crawl.
Yeah,
but
I hope you don't get delayed there. It is really cold.
By the time when people are listening to this, you can actually check our Nachum Siegel Network and my Instagram page, because you'll see if I actually got there.
Yeah.
Actually, it's double digits here today, actually. I'm looking at the computer, and it says 17 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's gotten a little warmer. Last night, I think it was 17 below.
That's warmer. That's insane. I can't believe it. Miriam, you know, you sent me this bio to read, and it's just, it's so incredible. But, you know, I'm blown away by everything that you've done. You know, it's funny. I've only known you for like 8 months, and I don't remember my life without you. So let's talk about some of the Miriam Schreiber that I'd like all my guests to know. So as we started off by saying that you run tours, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, before I get into it, I just want to thank you for joining our tours. You and Danielle made my tour so amazing. I can't imagine what the tours were like before you guys came along.
Oh,
it didn't just add a culinary aspect, but your personalities just added so much to the tour. Everyone had so much fun with both of you that it really just changed all the dynamics, and and I can't go back. Once you have something, you can't do without it. So
Thank
we're really
you.
looking forward to future tours with you.
Amen. And we'll talk about that later. Okay.
Okay. How did I get into tours? Well, it's actually a cute story. I went on a tour. One of my daughters went with me. My mother, my sister, two of her daughters. We were in Poland. And actually, before the tour, I asked the guy, I said, listen, if you need help, I'm a really good organizer. I'll help you on the tour. And he thought, like, are you crazy? You're paying for a tour. Like, why would you want to help? You're coming to relax. And I helped out throughout the tour. But the last day of the tour, one of the buses, we had two buses, one of the buses broke down on the way to the airport. And everyone's like, how are we going to get to the airport? We had like 2 hours to get to the airport. And I said, we need to find a truck, and we need to put all the luggage on the truck, and we need to get all the people on one bus, and we're going to get to the airport. And he's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I said, we need to get down and wave down a truck, and you need to come down because I don't speak the language. And we did get a truck, and we started putting all the luggage on the truck, and we did manage to get to the airport. But I guess it was kind of history from that. I started working for another company, and I started planning tours. That was like 15 years ago. And I love logistics. I love history. And I love just going to see new places. So that's how it started.
Wow.
And,
I didn't know that. We've told many stories. I didn't know that one about the.
See, I saved something special for you.
Right.
So.
You see,
Yes.
Miriam has so much to share. I think we probably only scratched the surface with you.
Yep.
Okay. So what's up next then?
Well, should we announce what our upcoming tour is?
Sure. You go
Okay,
first.
so we're announcing it for the first time on Naomi's show. We're planning a tour in February of Panama. Panama is someplace that I know is on everybody's bucket list, and especially because it's warm, everybody could see going to Panama now. It is a fascinating place. Not everyone's going to go on a cruise. Not everyone wants to go on a cruise. So this is a land tour of Panama, and you get to see the fabulous Panama Canal, which personally I think is even more interesting looking at it, looking at the boats coming in rather than just being on a boat for 8 hours going through the locks. But people don't even realize there's so much fascinating history there, and there's a lot of Jewish history that people don't even know. So Rabbi Becher is going to tell us about that.
Oh, Rabbi Becher is also joining.
Rabbi Becher is also joining, and anyone who knows him, and if people don't know him, he is just absolutely fabulous. He always has an amazing presentation, and of course he has that Australian accent.
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't have something amazing to say, it sounds amazing.
He's from Melbourne and I'm from Sydney. You'll see our accents are slightly different. Did you realize that, Miriam?
No, because I'm so busy listening to the accent.
No, it's actually like a New York, Chicago. It's got a little twang.
Yeah. We usually have two rabbis. Usually Rabbi Lehrfield, Rabbi Yaakov Lehrfield from Staten Island also comes. He's not able to get away this time, but they're both fantastic. They each do their own thing, and they are really super fantastic. Yes, he's coming. And there's just so much to see in Panama that it's not just the Panama Canal. There's history. There's a beautiful community there. There's magnificent shuls. There's this Mbera Indian village, which is really fascinating and fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Right.
And we have a beautiful oceanfront hotel that we're going to spend. Shabbos is going to be beautiful there, very Shabbos friendly, and everybody there is so eager to help us and make it a great weekend. So I'm really excited about it. And Naomi, of course, you're going to come and you're going to show us how to make Panamanian foods.
Okay, I'm excited.
That's going to be fun too.
I've been a big fan of the ceviche. That's where ceviche is a Central and South American dish. So I'm very excited. I've been making it for years, so now I finally can show it at demos. So you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to backtrack a little bit. We're talking about Panama. Where else have you been in the world? Because it's fascinating.
Where else I've been?
I want to hear. I'm sure my listeners want to hear also.
Okay, so I've been all over Europe. I've been running tours all over Europe, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, for many, many years. China, Australia, Vietnam, Thailand. We'll talk about that in a second. South Africa, Morocco, Russia, really all over. Amalfi Coast, Sicily. We've been to a lot of places. Every year we have a lot of repeat customers, so I'm always looking to do a new destination because for them it's like going to camp every year. They want to come back, and we need a new destination.
Right.
So we're always doing something new, and sometimes we repeat something old. So we're kind of running out of places actually.
Hashem made a big world, but I heard that my mum's best friend in Australia, they're actually going to Antarctica.
Oh, well, right now, as the temperature is only about 17, we're not really thinking, but, it's definitely something that...
We can just go to the East River here.
Yeah, right? We can just walk out my front door.
Yeah.
Which I don't even want to do that. Could you bring some warm temperatures tomorrow?
Let's hope I get there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fascinating. I've heard it's just absolutely... That, Iceland is also something that we talk about doing.
I know, Iceland is, they say it's amazing, but you can't spend Shabbos there. People are going, a lot of the Stern girls right now are in Iceland. They're on winter break or about to go on winter break, and a lot of them are going to Iceland. You go in winter for like 3 days.
Yeah. You don't need a lot of time in Iceland. There's no kosher food there.
Yeah, there's no Shabbos.
There's no Chabad. There's not even Chabad there.
Yeah, Chabad left. Chabad was there and they left. They left. It was impossible.
Correct. Right, which is really hard to believe because there is Chabad all over the world, and we probably couldn't travel if it wasn't for the amazing, amazing people of Chabad. They are really big shout out to them because they aside from the amazing work that they do in Kiruv, they really make it so that business people traveling, everybody has always someplace to call home and someplace to go to if they need anything. So big shout out to them.
I've definitely met a lot of amazing people when I've spent Shabbos at Chabad houses. So, and I have to say, I met some amazing people when I was on your tour. When I went with Miriam to Asia, everybody on the tour got really close. We're about 40 people. And everybody became really good friends. Like there was not anyone that like was annoying. And I'm saying this as someone who was like working on the tour as well. Everyone was amazing. Like everyone became like family.
Yeah. You know what? I'm telling you, they call it like Miriam Shriver Camp for Adults. It's really people. I have watched people become friends on the tour, and then they live in different cities. I've made roommate shidduchim, and then in future tours they come and they call, let me call her and see if she wants to come again. And they've made lifelong friends. I mean, I'm always amazed. People call me up, is this one coming? Is that one coming? And these are not people that they were friendly with before, that they're friendly with during the year. They've become friends. But they've made it the highlight of my tour for me is Motzei Shabbos when we have a Mlava Malka and everybody's, we'll have music and they'll be singing together, and I see people from all over the world come together and get along. And, I have people ranging in ages from, even Danielle's kids came last year and everyone was friends with her kids. She has the most well-behaved, amazing, incredible kids.
Yeah,
your kids came, your kids were, they're 22, 23?
Yeah.
I became good friends with your kids.
Right.
We have that. There's people who are 80 who are friends with the 18-year-olds, and there's such an amazing vibe, an amazing camaraderie between the people that it's just something that, I have these WhatsApp groups, on the tour we use it to communicate, and they're
going the whole year. Bing,
unbelievable.
Bing, bing,
I mean, I have WhatsApp groups that are still going from Russia from a few years ago. It is amazing what, the friendships that have been formed and the people have maintained. So it's really, really special.
Well, it's all set. It's all because of you. You said a nice tone, and it's, everybody catches on.
My bottom line is really my customer satisfaction. I want people to be happy. My whole life, I've been the type of person that has enjoyed organizing and planning and watching people enjoy a roller coaster rather than go on the roller coaster.
Right, yeah,
so,
that's a good analogy for you. No, that's great. No, Miriam,
it's really, you've seen it. I don't have to go. I don't have to be. I'd rather be just making sure that everything runs smoothly. I'll stay back and
she's the maestro. She's the maestro.
To go.
Miriam, what sets you apart from everyone else's? Besides being you're fabulous and you take care of the snacks, and there's always water on the bus and the snacks, and Miriam is so worried about, people being hungry. And this is something I'm just thinking about now that I want to share. When we went elephant riding, I don't want to sound like a show off, right? But this is one of the things that we did. So Miriam stayed back at the hotel, and everyone to prepare for Shabbos. And Erev Shabbos, the project for the day, the outing for the day was going on elephant riding to see elephants. So we went out, it was in Chiang Mai, China. And Miriam said to me, Naomi, if anybody's thirsty, here's money and buy a drinks. Just keep making sure everybody's got a cold drink. It's really hot in Asia, as you can imagine, in the summer. She goes, just make sure everyone's not thirsty and everyone's hydrated. Just take care of it. And when people were coming off the elephant rides and they were and then a boat ride, people were exhausted and needed hydration. And I'm like, hi guys, who wants some drinks? I'm like, everyone grab a drink. And they're like, only Miriam thinks of this. Only Miriam. Like they were so impressed that you made sure that, everything like that was taken care of. And I said, everyone take a drink, and they were going for it. Like because you needed it and you knew that they would need it. You literally anticipate everyone's move.
Wow.
So with that being said, and me saying that about you, what do you think sets your tour apart from, in terms of activities from everyone else? Because there are so many tours.
Thank you. You're very sweet. You know what? I really just try, my people are coming on a tour, and I want them to be happy, and I want them to enjoy, and I want them to have all their needs taken care of. Somebody once, I hope this doesn't sound offensive, but somebody once said to me, is this like one of those wheelchair tours, nursing home tours? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was so, insulted, like, what are you... And he says, how, you don't have to do anything for yourself. They just, push you along. So I said, okay, I guess you could say it's a little bit of that kind of tour. You know what? I really try to do things that I think will be logistically sound and also amazing. Like, for example, we went to Halong Bay this summer. And
in Vietnam.
Anyone who knows Hanoi knows that when you go to Halong Bay, it's like a 4.5-hour bus ride to get to Halong Bay. And I'm thinking, nobody wants... First of all, it was Shavasana. I'm thinking, nobody wants to sit in a bus for 4.5 hours. Even if we could be sitting there eating the whole time, we didn't want to sit in the bus for 4.5 hours. And I had heard about helicopters, and we ended up arranging that we took a helicopter ride. It was, what was it, 40 minutes in the helicopters? Remember those helicopters?
They were amazing.
They were like World War II helicopters. They were amazing. It was fun, no?
I loved it. That was, besides being in Asia, it was a whole highlight for me because I'd never been to that part of the world. Going on a helicopter ride was insane.
You know what? I posted the picture of the video that you took on Instagram, so people can check out our Instagram, Miriam's Legacy Kosher Tours, and they can see the video that you took of that.
Everybody,
that helicopter.
Everybody, go follow Miriam because she's got incredible giveaways going on now. Also, it's Miriam's Kosher Legacy Tours.
Miriam's Legacy Kosher Tours.
Okay, I'm just I'm just checking it. I want to make sure we get it right.
Yeah,
okay, I'm going to hold. It's Miriam's with an S, Legacy Kosher Tours.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to hold it up to the screen.
Check out that picture of the helicopter. That was incredible.
Incredible.
Was so
and
much
should
fun.
I do it? Should I show it up? Okay, let's go. I'm going to show it to you for those who are watching on the YouTube channel. Okay, okay, can I show this? ZK, is this coming up?
Sure.
This is me, my voice. It's going. Okay, we went on on that helicopter. It was insane.
Back before Mincha. It was great.
Right, and then I did a demo that night.
Right,
so
that was our first demo. It was amazing.
So it's really, Miriam's not going to have you just sit on a bus for 4 hours going to see something. She's going to fly you there in a helicopter, or she's going to make it come to you.
We went in Australia. We went to Hayman Island, which was also an amazing, different. Nobody goes there. You could only get there by helicopter or by boat. We went. I sent 2 shiploads of food up there because the only thing on Hayman Island is this one and only hotel. And we rented our own pontoon so people could go scuba diving in a completely tznius atmosphere. It was truly incredible. It was. We stay at hotels that people don't usually use for tours, but I just find that they're iconic and they add to the experience. The Peninsula in Shanghai, the Four Seasons in Moscow, which is right on Red Square. You walk out the door, you're at Red Square. It's just, I like to do things that I think would just make a difference in the tour.
All the little details are taken care of, and the hotels, one is more magnificent than the other.
Yes,
and
I remember that Reverie that we stayed in Ho Chi Minh.
The Reverie in Vietnam in Ho Chi Minh, right? Or AKA Saigon.
Yeah.
Is beautiful. Everyone's jaws dropped when they saw this.
That
so
was
you can
incredible.
go on to look some of the pictures. I think you have some I think I sent you some.
I put up some of the pictures that you had sent me.
Are on the
and
Instagram.
I'm actually in the middle of putting up some pictures now from I did it in sequence, so my Amalfi Coast pictures are going up. And then I'm going to do another China tour that I did in October. I'm going to put some of those up. And then we're going to start talking about the upcoming February tour.
Okay, so I'm very excited for Panama. I hope everyone will join us. Miriam, how do people reach you?
They can email me, legacykosher@aol.com. They can call me on my cell, 224-735-0015.
I hope you got that. That was very fast.
Page.
Or you can also email me and I can forward Miriam.
Correct.
Naomi at nachumsegal.com, and I will forward Miriam the emails as well. Amazing. Miriam, I can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow in Chicago, which will be yesterday by the time they're
Yeah, I'm
hearing
getting
this.
all my warm clothes ready.
I know, I'm excited.
I'm starting to warm up my car now.
I bought a new hat to go over my new Wonder Wig that will keep my head warm while I
just David, Hashem.
just up. Yeah, I know.
Make it so cold.
Because I'm really going for a bat mitzvah, and I do not want to disappoint this little girl. So Hashem is going to make it happen that we get to Chicago and everyone's safe and sound in their homes this crazy winter that we're having. So thanks,
I'm
Miriam.
really looking forward. Thank you, Naomi, and keep warm.
Thank you. I will, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, great.
All right,
forward.
take care. Me
Okay,
too. Bye.
bye-bye.
Okay, everyone, that was pretty exciting talking to Miriam. See, she's a little hyper like me.
Yeah.
This was her low key, actually,
Okay.
because that was her being nervous. I was going to ask you something, ZK. Lost my train of thought there. Okay, I don't know what I was going to ask you. Okay, so I'm really excited for this part of the hour because about how long ago was Hanukkah from now?
About
a month.
About 2 weeks, maybe at the beginning of Hanukkah.
Yeah,
We were in the
it was
show,
right
like
before.
2.5 weeks ago.
It was the Erev Hanukkah.
Yeah.
So Hanukkah started Tuesday night. This is Tuesday. A whole bunch of food bloggers, were Instagram bloggers, were asked to get together by Jill Duche. She's been on the show, and Jill got everyone to get. I think was she in the studio? I think she was in the studio. Jill came in, and she wanted to get everybody who was a woman Instagrammer together for like a networking event. So it was in Deal. A whole bunch of us drove out there from the 5 towns. There's me and Melinda Strauss and Malky Hirsch. I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. Elisheva Tate, and she's the cook. Also joined us. So Bracha Searle. And we said, okay, we're not going to Lakewood without making a stop at your amazing donut shop.
Thank you. I was so happy to see you all. What great energy this group of women had. They kind of descended upon Broad Street Doco, and everybody was like, what is going on? It was nothing but pure positive energy.
It was insane.
It was
because
great.
we are like the ultimate crazy kosher foodies.
Love it.
It's, we just, wherever we are, we search out and we look for, if we're traveling somewhere, not even for food as the main destination, but we have to incorporate food into where we're going.
It was great.
And especially like women in business, right?
Yeah.
Like Miriam, we just had
Yeah.
Miriam in business and you're in business.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about the history of how you got into it and eventually we're going to end up by us eating donuts.
Okay, good.
Yay, CK! Yay!
I really felt like there was a need for a fresh donut in the market. There's lots of donuts out there. I just really wanted to create a product without additives and preservatives. I wanted to create a vegan and gluten-free product and accommodate nut allergies. And
Bless you for that.
thank you. And in the process, when I decided on the location of Oakhurst, I knew nothing about being kosher. I knew that I had a huge kosher community, and a woman by the name of Joy Batesh came into the shop before I opened.
I know Joy.
Yeah.
I've met
Yeah.
her. We've actually tried to have her on the show.
She was really pivotal in me discovering the whole what being kosher really meant, because I think it's such a big, broad term, and
Everyone's a little different.
right. So she introduced me to Rabbi Farhi, and then came the education on being kosher and the great relationship I have with him in JSOR. And
What's that?
It's my rabbinical supervision.
Okay, great.
And I learned what I thought vegan was, and then also there's the parv aspect. So I wanted to create one-stop shopping for the entire community. And that's what I was setting out to do. And create a fresh product and something that's made fresh right in front of you in an open kitchen, and you see the whole process and you just have fun.
I'm actually drooling. My mouth is watering. And we're not even we don't even have a donut package
No.
in front of us.
I hope those aren't
just
too cold because of this
describing
weather.
it.
Yeah.
Just describing it is it's in a process. So when did you open up? How many years ago?
I'm in my fourth year.
So
Entering
it's
my fourth
actually
year.
quite new in the food world. 4 years is still quite a baby in the food world, and there were lines out the door. I mean, granted, it was like in the holiday season before Christmas and before Hanukkah, and they had the coolest looking like donut cakes. They made like cakes, like a tree out of donuts.
We
and
celebrated all different holidays. We had our Star of David. We had our menorah. We had our Christmas tree. It's great. One love type of atmosphere.
Okay. So how did you get this concept in your head of the layout? I understand the whole like gluten-free, nut-free, right? Why an open kitchen? Because that would make me so nervous. Everyone sees what's going on. It's fun.
Because I think it's interesting for people to see the process. And I really wanted people to be able to place their order and watch that donut either being baked or fried and watch it being dipped. I think it's very interactive. I think it's just fun. And that's what I really wanted to create. It's something that is different and was not done at the time.
Right. You make the dough in the store in front of everyone in these giant machines. And then that you pour it into this, how do you describe that? It plops into this.
A hopper. It's called a hopper. And it has like a plunger. And you literally watch the dough being pushed out of the hopper and into the fryer. And you can see your actual donut being fried. And
you actually can be the mashkiach, literally. You can be the supervising rabbi, because then they take the donut off and then they say, okay, this donut, she ordered a blueberry, who knows what.
A blueberry crumb bun.
Right.
Yeah.
So then they turn it into that.
Yeah. And then you watch the process. It's dipped into whatever, glazes you want. You can also create your own flavors. So it's fun. I know.
didn't know that.
Next time.
I think we should do a show, seriously, from ZK. How about we do a table for two from the store?
That would be fun. That would be great.
Oh, my gosh. Des, this is amazing. Okay, let's bring over those donuts.
Okay, awesome.
I want everyone who is watching on our YouTube channel or, there he goes. He's going to bring them over, or listening to us.
Thank you.
I want you to have a little taste and see. You eat with your eyes. I always say that.
So I brought dairy-free and dairy. So
okay. I'm all about dairy.
Okay. Yes.
I'm supposed to be on a diet for the new year. So I was so good yesterday,
Everything
knowing that you were coming.
All right.
Knowing that you were coming in, I knew that I had to be good yesterday so I can balance it out today. Yeah. It's all about balance,
Yeah, absolutely. So here we have something that's like a cronut. It's a donut croissant combo. These are the churro bites.
Okay. Oh, that one looks so good.
This one is, so I name most of the specials in the donuts after local, local roads, local locations, towns. This is the West Park. It's a love triangle filled with Bavarian cream and warm chocolate drizzle and powdered sugar.
You had me at Bavarian cream. Okay. We might not leave any for Yoni, right, ZK? Yeah, you're not here today, as far as I know. Are you watching us, Yoni? Okay. Or Nachum? Okay.
And I weave different elements. So the Bavarian cream is gluten-free and dairy-free. The chocolate's gluten-free and dairy-free. And so it's a nice little balance.
Wait, I'll give it to you in a tissue. I don't want to make the desk a mess. I share with ZK because we're really good friends. Okay, here we go. Baruch atah Adonai b'chol ha'borei minei mizorah. Oh my God.
Good stuff. Thank you.
It's beyond. I'm very into I like a good filling. Trust me, I like a good dairy filling, but I'm all about the crust or the texture of the dough. Mm-hmm. It has, do they call this a laminated dough? Is this how do you, because this is not a batter.
No, this is yeast raised.
Yeast raised.
Yeah.
This is insane. Okay. How many days a week are you open, by the way?
7 days a week.
Okay.
7 days a week. We close 3 days a year. So New Year's Day, Easter, and Christmas Day.
Are you even open on Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
So, guys, if you're looking to do something on a Sunday and you are, just want to get out and about and looking for a destination, go to Broadway Doco.
Yeah.
Broad Street Doco. I don't know why I keep saying it's Broadway because it's right here.
I need a Broadway donut. Actually, you should create that flavor.
A Broadway donut. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
We can work on that together. Yeah. We need an Aussie donut.
Yeah, okay. We could do an Aussie donut.
Oh, I got to think about that.
Yeah.
What would you put in an Aussie donut? Okay. Or if you guys have an idea for a flavor, why don't you email me, naomi@nachumsiegel.com, and we can have some sort of...
We could definitely do like a nice little contest. I'm in the middle of expanding, so we can add that to the menu before the expansion, so it's on the second location.
Oh, I like that. I'm going to just keep eating this last bite here.
We need an Aussie donut and a Broadway donut. Naomi donut. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So
That's insane.
here's the regular donuts for you.
I don't know what to say. I'm like blown away. Okay, ZK, we do have more. So wait, what are these? These
So
are the
those
churro
are the
bar?
churro bites. Those are tossed in cinnamon sugar, a little bit of glazed drizzle. It's the same component. It's just in a different shape. I kind of make it bite size.
Okay, so what's the difference between the two donuts?
Those are the two same. They're the same.
Oh, they're both the same.
Yep,
So I can
those
give
are-
a whole thing
Yes.
to ZK.
I knew.
There you go,
I was
ZK.
going to have to.
I'm very. Look.
So these are a little bit more over the top.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles.
Okay,
With a little
are you
cotton
guys-
candy crunch.
Here, I'm just gonna take a little photo.
Chocolate banana cheesecake. Right here.
Okay, everyone, if you're listening, quickly go on to I'm going to post this on. I have some of their donuts already posted on my feed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to post these and watch us on the Nachum Siegel on the YouTube channel because wow,
Yes,
They
you
look-
can believe it.
oh my God. Okay, that's insane. And we've had a lot of food come past our desk over here. Okay, I'm going to try one
Okay.
and then we'll talk about the rest of them.
Okay.
But which one, if I had to have one donut?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
But I don't like peanut butter. Let's go.
You
with
like
that.
peanut butter?
I don't like
You
peanut
don't like
butter.
peanut butter. Let's keep that one out.
Somebody said, how can you not like peanut butter? I said, how can you not like Vegemite? And then they shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What, Vegemite
You know what?
donut.
Yeah. That would be a first.
Well, don't knock it. We can do it. It's
Yeah,
really
we
good
could.
with butter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We could do that. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We could definitely do. This is a tough call. This is a blueberry donut served chocolate chip pancake style. So it's maple dipped with streusel, mini chocolate chips, and blueberries, blueberry glaze, powdered sugar. This is one of my favorites. I call it the Nancy. It's a chocolate donut cut in half, filled with whipped chocolate mousse, dipped in warm chocolate with crushed Oreo. It's almost like a chocolate devil dog.
How did you? What's your background? I forgot to ask that. I'm like so like enamored with these donuts, and there's one of
So
my, what's your background that you thought of this concoction?
So I do own a pizzeria, and I just kind of played around with it in the pizzeria, in the fryers, playing around with creating different flavors. I'm just super creative. I just like to have fun. You know, the thing about flavors is that everybody likes different flavors. So you might not like the chocolate and peanut butter, but somebody out there does.
Oh,
and
for
that's
sure.
that's when it becomes very interesting. I might not like, chocolate banana cheesecake, but somebody does. So it's very interesting. All of the donuts sell equally.
It's
So
unbelievable.
It's
there's
there's
can't-
not one standout donut, because everybody likes different flavors.
I once went to the Turkey Hill ice cream, and
Yeah.
they said they said, oh, I guess you had to vote on who thinks what the top flavored American
Right.
flavor was, and it was like, butter pecan or something.
Right.
Right. So you don't have one flavor that's sold the most.
No. My personal
That's-
favorite's the Nantucket. It's caramel and sea salt.
Oh, yeah. That sounds.
That I believe I placed right there. But
Do you have something with coconut?
you know what? Believe it or not, I don't have anything with coconut. I should have asked you if you wanted coconut.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
No.
No,
Next
no.
time.
Next
When
time.
you're at the
Next-
shop, we're gonna.
Okay. So what? Oh God, I
This is caramel sea salt. So this is a super moist donut. This is a super moist donut. It really just kind of.
what's that one?
That one is apple cider dipped in warm caramel with sea salt and chopped peanuts.
Oh, let's have that one.
Yeah?
That sounds good.
Okay.
I have to say they all.
Just,
sound good.
just nibble. Like, just take a little piece.
Yeah, you should see what I did to the box that I brought home from your store. There was everything had a little wedge cut out.
Yeah, right. I remember. It was just like little
Yeah,
slivers.
Melinda did that.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
great.
so I'm going to take one of those. Okay,
Okay.
let's eat this one, and then we'll divvy them up later.
Okay.
Okay. Is it hard to? I know you're super creative, so it's easy for you to take a concept in your head. Okay, let's make the chocolate dip caramel, but then you have to actually make it happen. And this is what I say: you can have the world's best food, but if you can't get it out to your customers in a timely fashion, you have nothing. right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's all about
Well, when I say super creative, it is a total team effort. It's not about Des being super creative. It's about our customers being super creative, the Broad Street Doco team being super creative. It's very, very interactive. We'll have customers come in the morning and we'll say, what do you think about this? And they'll say, oh, I really like that, or I don't really like that, and we'll name donuts after them, but it's a team effort. It's the whole community participates. So you'll find on my Instagram feed, you might see the Michael donut. Well, Michael created that donut. So that's his set donut. And it's very, so it's definitely not just me. It is everybody is super creative in the process, and it's fun. It's really supposed to be just fun. And sometimes, you could caramel dip donut with cannoli on top with a dash of sea salt. Who would think? But it's delicious. So it's fun. It's interesting.
I'm like obsessed now with the Australian concept. So I've already got 3 ideas. We can do a Vegemite butter donut.
Okay.
We can do a pavlova donut because
Yes.
Pavlova's Australian.
Yes.
And a Tim Tam donut,
Tim Tam, love.
right?
Yeah.
So the only problem is acquiring the Tim Tams. You can get Tim Tams in America. They are not kosher if you buy them in America, okay? Unless you buy them in a kosher store with a hechsher on them. Okay, I just want to...
So I'll go down to Lakewood and see if they have... Do they have any?
No,
they don't
you have
have
to get
any.
them from Israel.
Okay, so we can order them from
We
Israel.
can, yeah, Danielle Ranov, can you help us get
Yes.
some? Yeah, so whenever Danielle comes to America,
Yeah.
she always have a half a suitcase full of Tim Tams for me because she's the best.
Okay, I definitely have to order.
Yeah, so we can get them from Israel. People will just bring some back from Israel and give
Yes.
them to you.
Come to Broad Street Joco or bring them to you.
And we'll give you a free donut if you bring us the Tim Tams. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like Tim Tams inside a donut covered in like
Yeah.
milk chocolate?
Something kind of like this,
Mm,
but a little bit different setup. Yeah.
yeah, Tim Tam donut. Okay.
That could be like that. That would be very popular.
That would be cool. I don't know. I'm not sure if the Vegemite donut will be great, but it's a cool
We'll
concept.
try
We'll
everything.
try it. I've
Yeah.
got some Vegemite. We'll have a little
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
It'll probably be after Pesach's at this point. Guys, you know how many... I'm just going to give you a little countdown, little reminder. You know that I'm a Pesach-centric, right? My phone is... How do I get the countdown? I have this countdown app. Okay, I'm going to take it off airplane mode. Maybe that's why it's not now working. Okay, so remember, guys, my Pesach cookbook is available right now on Amazon. It's having a really good sale because as we get closer, the book goes up, and the Sfarim stores will have them also. Okay. All right. So I just want to tell you how many days till Pesach. Okay. There are from this Wednesday, day of recording, January
Third.
86 days.
Wow.
86 days till
Wow.
Pesach. That's like nothing. It's
That is-
crazy.
no, that's
But
time's
with
flying.
Pesach, what happens for Pesach? We have Purim. So this would make great
I love
for the
Purim.
gift baskets.
Forum is
What do
so
you do?
much
Do you do anything
fun.
for Purim? What do you do with the donuts? You
Um,
just change the shape.
Well, yeah, we do all different types of things, but the most fun aspect of Purim for me is having people come in costume.
Yeah.
it is so much fun. It's great. So we do all different. We create donuts with masks. We do create. It's a lot of fun.
I love that you got into the whole multicultural, like just being with everyone and learning.
It's so
and-
awesome. It's so awesome. It's great.
Unbelievable.
I've learned so much, and we're just all one big happy family there. If not, when you're in Broad Street Doco, you just can embrace one another while sharing a donut and waiting in line and talking.
Do you
and,
sell coffee there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sell coffee, yeah.
Yeah, that's-
coffee and donuts, but
coffee and donuts.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Unbelievable. This is
Yeah.
great. Guys, make a trip out there. It's unbelievable. You could all come to the studio right now and share with us and have a party.
Well, it's funny. I was Instagramming on the way in saying, not saying exactly where I was going and kind of leading up to it.
Mystery.
And people were saying, can you come to 40th and Broadway? And
You could do donut pop-up.
actually, yes.
We should do a donut pop-up shop here on the street like we did with Memphis, the food truck. We did we brought down a food truck
That
because
would
there
be
aren't
awesome.
many kosher restaurants
Yeah.
down here on the Lower East Side. This used to be the hub of kosher
Yeah.
Jewish community. And we brought the food truck down and we sold food and we did the show out of a food truck.
That's awesome.
It was amazing. We had such a good time. But donuts.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Because there's a little kosher store here, a little like bodega kind of store.
Yeah.
And people would go insane for this.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love it. This was who? Kosher Girl 143 said, I'm on 48th and Broadway.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm up there. Oh, my gosh, we got 30 seconds left. This was amazing.
Yeah.
How fast does the time go?
So fast, so fast. I cannot thank you enough. I cannot thank you enough for having me. You are this amazing burst of energy, and I love it, and I love that you're a woman doing what you're doing and having fun with it.
Thank you. I love
and
what
making
I do.
a big difference.
Thank you. I love what I do. I love being part of the kosher community, a woman in business, just hanging out with and networking people.
Yeah,
I love
it's
networking,
great.
and I feel like we have this amazing connection.
Absolutely.
And thank you, everyone, so much for listening. We had an incredible show. Wow, I can't believe an hour has gone by. Stay on. We've got music up, sponsored by our friends at Kedem, right up until Lichtbenching. And right now, Mark Zomick, Erev Shabbos show, airing right now after Table for Two. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Bye. Stay warm.